Harris Rosen grew up on Manhattan's Lower East Side in the 40s and 50s. Some considered the area to be a gritty and tough part of town, but to Harris, it was home.
I didn't realize there was anything different about the neighborhood until I heard a couple of ladies on a sightseeing bus get off the bus, and one asked the other, "So this is how they live?" I had no idea what it meant, so I spoke to Mom about it, and she shared with me and my brother that not everybody lives this way.
And although many would see life in the Bowery as an obstacle, Harris Rosen looks back on his childhood fondly, often referring to what his mother told him as a child.
My parents shared with us that education was really going to be the key if we wanted eventually to leave.
Education. It was the key to making something of yourself. And that's just what Harris Rosen did. From graduating from Cornell University with a bachelor's degree in hotel administration, to purchasing his first hotel on International Drive, to donating the land and money for what would become the Rosen College of Hospitality Management at the University of Central Florida, to becoming one of the most successful businessmen and most selfless philanthropists in Central Florida, Harris Rosen apparently followed his mother's advice.
Education was the linchpin. If I could do what I've done, why can't others?
Nothing speaks to Harris Rosen's passion for education more than Tangelo Park, the neighborhood once known as a drug-infested, trouble-plagued community near International Drive.
Was at my desk one day and just kind of thinking about how lucky I was. This is going to sound a little bit strange, but I did have sort of an epiphany, and I did hear a voice say that it was time for me to give back. So I called a couple of folks together. Bill Spoon, Sarah Sprinkle, both of whom had been in education for a long time, and I shared with them my ideas. And within an hour, we put the program together. Every 2-, 3-, and 4-year-old in the neighborhood would have an opportunity to go to preschool, and we would create the preschool opportunities. At the end of high school and graduation rates, we were convinced would increase exponentially. They were graduating from Tangelo Park maybe 40–45%. Our goal was 100%. That we would provide a free college education here in Florida to those youngsters. Bingo.
Thanks to Harris Rosen's epiphany, 20 years later, Tangelo Park has become one of the most successful philanthropic projects in Central Florida, helping many children make something of themselves through the opportunities education provides.
In those 20 years, crime in the neighborhood has declined dramatically, close to 60%. Graduation rates in high school are at 100% and have been consistently for the past 8 or 9 years. Listen to this. Of the kids who graduate from high school, 77% go on and graduate from college. Numbers you won't find in the most affluent gated communities in the state. The families used to ask me, they don't anymore, Mr. Rosen, how long will you do this? And my response was, I'll do it until Tangelo Park is a gated community and the average home is selling for $1 million.
A survivor from Radom, Poland, Tess Wise, and her husband Abe both started the Holocaust Memorial Resource and Education Center of Florida back in 1982. It was the first of its kind in the Southeast.
So the idea was to establish some kind of a base from which we could incorporate the history of the Second World War, meaning including the Holocaust, into the school curricula.
32 years later, the Holocaust Museum has achieved international acclaim as one of the leaders when it comes to incorporating Holocaust education in schools.
I served in the Army as a junior officer and was originally volunteered to go to Asia and then received an inter-theater transfer to Germany. And I spent several days in Dachau. And I think unless you are walking through a facility like that, looking at the ovens, looking at where people lived, it's surreal.
When I explained to Harris our goal of what we aim to establish and that we would need his support was readily forthcoming.
There should be a Holocaust facility in every community in the United States. A gentle reminder that horrible things happened and are capable of happening again. We had a little car, and Dad would drive along the Hudson every once in a while, and we would look at the George Washington Bridge. And right under the bridge was a little lighthouse. The lighthouse was there as a constant reminder that it was guiding the ships. Be careful, the bridge is here. And the Holocaust Center does that. It's a lighthouse. It's there to remind people of what happened and what's possible.